Now, this is Chef Stephanie. I'm in the kitchen, and I know I'm supposed to be savory Stephanie, but today I'm kind of pushing the envelope and I'm kind of doing sweet and savory. So I promise you, I'm always going to have something savory in there, but there's a lot more sweet going in there today. Ooh, let me pipe this down. All right. So today we're going to be making spiced candied pistachios. That's right, to be going on a ruby red sorbet, and I can't wait to show you how to do this. Now, we're going to actually start with the toppings. That's right, the toppings. So this is the final result of the candied pistachios. So we're going to start with this. You could do absolutely any nut, but we are here in Greece, and it's really popular now, as you know, in lots of times, it's so popular to cook what's local and what's in season. And one of the most popular nuts here in Greece is pistachios. I'll tell you, when Jessica came back from being in Greece the first time, I almost didn't believe her, but she said, Steph, they even have pistachio milk. I said, no way they do. And she said, yes way they do. And I promise you, it now is always in my kitchen. But let me stop going on about pistachio milk. I'm going to bring you down here and show you how we begin this, because it's really important to watch a couple of steps here. All right. So remember, pick any nut of choice. Now I've chosen, as I mentioned, the pistachios. You can use them, you can get roasted ones, but we're going to be using raw pistachios. So these are beautiful, and these have like a nice reddish, greenish color. But all you want to do is get a nice heavy saucepan. Always have a nice heavy saucepan. You know, I have a lot of students who ask me, they're like, Stephanie, what kind of knife should I use? And I say, you know what, you need to find a knife that you like. So you need to find, it's all about having good tools and things that you like. So this is a really nice saucepan. Get yourself one. Put it on your birthday list. So now we want to put in the sugar and the water. We're just going to boil this up. Let me get a better view there. All righty. Actually, I'll move to this one. And we'll do it back here, so I don't have to reach as much. There we go. Okay. So you just went, ooh, and there, that little bell, my friends, is actually my ice cream machine saying that it's ready. We're not even close to that point yet. But all I'm doing here is mixing my sugar and my water. Want to get yourself one of these nice little whisks. We're just heating up the water to dissolve the sugar. And then we're going to be adding our nuts. Now, this is actually really, to me, I think it's quite interesting and bizarre. The first time I did it, the first time I saw Jessica doing it, it's really amazing. And I'll tell you, look, nuts are not the most inexpensive ingredient in the plant-based or vegan kitchen. But I will tell you that if you get ones in bulk, or you get ones that are local, so you know, these are much cheaper here than they would say maybe in Australia or in, I don't know, in Thailand or other places around the world. So use a local nut. That way you're going to be easier on your budget. So you can see I'm just bringing this up, getting some nice steam here. Woo, I'm getting a facial, la 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 la. Okay, so now I've dissolved my sugar almost. These make a great, of course they're going to be a topping for our sorbet, but these, I was talking with Jessica, these are a fantastic gift idea. You can make for a birthday gift, you can make them for at Christmas time or any holiday time as a gift that you want to give away. Heck, if you're getting married, you can make your own little party favors or something, I don't know. Okay, so now this is all heated up. Now I'm going to be adding my nuts. I'm going to be dropping my temperature down to medium. And now I'm just going to, so now these have all gotten nice and coated. But now I'm going to be talking, and now you're going to see all the magic change. And this is what's really incredible, I think, of this recipe. Because now it's just like this clear, of course, very sweet liquid of the sugar on top. But you're actually going to see, and this liquid is actually going to go into a white sand. That's right, I'm going to say it again. You might not believe me, but I promise you it's going to happen. White sand. And if you think you did something wrong, do not fret. Do not worry, my friends. that means that you are doing it properly. So you want to keep this on medium. You don't want it to burn. So we're putting this on medium. Keep stirring this. This is a great thing to have the kids do. Get them in the kitchen. They love, believe me, kids, if you have them, you know it. They love to chop and cut and mix. And then, of course, you can let them know how fantastically delicious they are. I'm sure they'll want to help. Now, as I show you, doing two things at once. See how beautiful that finished product is? Delicious. Now, in the recipe here, I have cloves that we're going to be putting on there, a little bit ground clove, cardamom, which really pairs beautifully with the grapefruit, allspice, salt, and of course, those who know me as the spicy chica know that I always love a little bit of heat. But you can absolutely, without a doubt, mix and match and do whatever spices you like. This is how they make, if you've ever had hot nuts, that's right. They're especially popular in winter. I've seen them at sporting events, but these are popular the world over. And again, oftentimes in season, you know, I've seen them, the hot, spicy, sweet nuts done with the not only pistachios, they do them with peanuts, especially I know in the South in the US. I've seen them with walnuts. Literally, the sky's the limit. I know macadamias are super popular in Hawaii, and then they have a lot of them in Australia. You can do the, what are they, the castañas, those chestnuts. Yeah, I'm thinking chestnuts. I forgot the word in English. Yeah, castañas. So now, as you can see, maybe, my syrup is actually now, it's gone from clear. My sugar syrup has gone from clear, so now it's almost like it's kind of like a grayish color. It's kind of taupey. Can you see that? So it's getting thicker. I don't want to do it too quickly. We're just going to keep mixing this around. So it's your choice, chefs. If you want to toast your nuts and you want an even crunchier nut, that's fine. But these are raw. I wanted to maintain the color, but it's 100% up to you. I also like the size of these. These are, for me, I like the bigger texture, the bigger size when I'm putting them on the sorbet. And again, these would be fantastic, not only just on sorbet, but literally you could put them on top of your morning yogurt. You could put it in your oatmeal. This will be great. You could crunch these up, crush them up, and they can go on smoothies. This, of course, they're just great for snacking. I mean, they're a little bit addictive, but you know, these are a great little hors d'oeuvre to serve. This is great to put on a cheese board, of course, a vegan cheese board. It's great to have at a party. These are, you could do multiple different nuts, different flavors. You know, there are companies around the world that sell these pre-done, and they're so expensive. But if you decide to make your own, you can customize them to your favorite flavors, your heat levels, and you can always have them for your, especially with summer coming up in a lot of parts of the world here in the north. I know people, you know, that's another reason I wanted to do this recipe. I saw that ice cream has increased so much. Ice cream consumption has increased in the past year because while we've all been in lockdown, we still wanted something decadent. So in addition to people loving chocolate and wanting comfort food, ice cream is another comfort food. And so it's gone through the roof in terms of how much the ice cream has been consumed. But you know, look, there's nothing wrong with classics like chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. But my gosh, if you're gonna have ice cream, and maybe you're gonna have, especially at, like at an adult dinner party, wouldn't it be fun to stretch your horizons and do something a little bit different? Or tailor something to a local holiday. I don't know. My niece's name is Peyton, but I call her P, or her nickname is Peanut. So I always, everything I make for her, I always put peanuts in them because that's her nickname. So there you go. A little bit of side trivia that means nothing. But I have to fill this in because I'm still continuing to stir and getting my nuts. Now, I'm almost getting to my white sand. Getting there, getting there, getting there. I'll let this go just for a teeny weeny bit. But you have to stay on this. You don't want to burn your nuts, I promise you. Do not burn your nuts, you'll hate yourself. In the meantime, I will talk to you about our sorbet ingredients. Now, in the recipe, you can make, I'm going to show you a finished version. We've actually made a delicious lemon one, but what inspired me to make this dish right now was to cook and season was the ruby red grapefruit, because literally they are so flippin', I'm not going to swear, I won't say fuck, oh, I did it. They are so freaking amazingly delicious, the ruby red grapefruits right now. They are like candy, and that's why I love to use things that are delicious and in season and at the height of the crop. So sorbet we often think of as being something you eat or consume in the summer, but citrus is typically is a winter food. Now, look, my nuts are getting white and sandy. Can you see that? Actually, well, it's not completely white and sandy yet, but it's getting there. It's getting really dry. Look, chefs, there's zero liquid left in there. So it's going to get all completely sandy, and you're going to think, oh my gosh, what did I do? Well, now you have to keep cooking. Now the sand, it's gone to this white sand, and now we have to keep cooking, and we have to caramelize the nuts now. You could leave it at this stage, but your nuts will always stay white, and we don't want to do that. I don't want that. I want them to eventually have this brown color. So again, you could leave them this way, but I want to have them be brown. Ooh, I step away. My machine is all happy right now. Mr. Whippy, that's right. Mr. Whippy is the nickname for our ice cream machine. It makes a cute little bell, like how they have the ice cream vans. I guess the ice cream man driving around in the truck, it was the original food truck, the ice cream man. The food truck's such a new concept, and it's only been around, I don't know, a couple of decades. But the ice cream man's been around for a long time. So he was the original, or she. I should be gender neutral, right? More PC, as they say. Okay, so now look at that. It's really sandy, and it's building up my bicep. It's really hard for me to continue to stir this, but you must do it. At the very bottom here, it's really sandy. I mean, really sandy. And you want to make sure, so all that, it's almost like rock candy. And now as I continue, and I'm going to put it up just a little bit more, because I know you all love being here, but I appreciate everybody watching live, but I know you're all busy, so I'm going to just push the envelope a little bit, heat this up. What's going to happen is all of this white sandy sugar is going to continue to cook and crystallize and get brown. And then at that time is when I'm going to stir in quickly a little bit of vegan butter or margarine, and then my spices. So make sure you always have those portions measured out. Now look, this is starting. I can smell it. If you had smell-o-vision, you could tell that it's coming along here. And this is what, again, I'm getting all my bicep strength. At those carnivals, and when they do these on the street, they of course have like enormous machines that constantly are pushing and moving these around. But in smaller batches, you're making it with all of your love and consideration and, like I said, customization of the actual flavors. I know I've been to street fairs in Spain where they've had about, my gosh, 5 or 10 different flavors just on one type of nut. In Spain, they're known for their almonds, the Marcona almonds. And now you can see this is, in fact, I'm going to bring this down just a little bit because I don't like it's going a little too quickly. But these are caramelizing. My sugar is getting brown now. So my white sand is turning brown. I'm caramelizing my nuts. So you could have a nut competition. You could also do a combination. Now, if you were going to use much different sizes of nuts, for example, if you were going to use Brazil nuts and then little itty bitty nuts, I would encourage you, they're going to cook at a different level, so I would encourage you maybe, for example, to toast your Brazil nuts and then leave the small nuts raw. Because if they're much different sizes, they're going to have, it's going to be a little bit funky, but it's your choice. I've also done even some cashews here. So you can use, like I mentioned, any nut you like. At the end, you could even put in some seeds. I know I've seen one of my favorite ones that I've bought commercially before was actually with sesame seeds on top of cashews. Oh my gosh. I would eat those by the kilo. All right, so now, see, I am getting almost all of my white sandy sugar is gone. My nuts are now all coated. I know this took a little bit of time, gang, but I want to show you. You can't rush this. Rome, as they say, was not built in a day. Haha. Although we're here in Greece. Maybe I should say Athens was not built in a day. Yeah. All right, so now I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to remove it from the heat. Quickly stir in my butter. What my butter is going to do is, because my nuts are just a little bit cakey and cooked on and chunky, I want to release them and get them separated. And now I'm going to dump in all of my spice. And now, oh my gosh, you guys, oh my gosh. Literally that allspice with that cardamom, oh, ridiculous how good it is. I wish, you know what, one of these days I'm going to invent smell-o-vision. If I had a genie, I would rub my genie, and one of my wishes on my genie's belly would be to have smell-o-vision, because I wish I could impart that to all of you around the world. Okay, now, the other thing you want to make sure you always have all your stuff prepped. Boom, we're going to come over here, there we go. And I have my parchment paper, my baking paper on a nice tray so you don't burn yourself. Turn these puppies out, and then you want to spread these out. And they're going to cool. You want to make sure you store them in a nice dry container, airtight container, especially if you're in a humid area. I'm spreading these out because otherwise, look, if you don't, they're going to all get caked up and it's going to be like toffee or, you know, like caramel corn. So, you know, these are so incredibly decadent. Look, pile on as many as you like, but if you separate them, they're going to be in nice separate little pieces. Okay, fantastic. Step one, out of the way. Boom. Good job, chefs. We're going to let these set aside for a while. And now we're going to be moving on to our fantastic sorbet. Okay, so now you just want to take in another heavy saucepan. Once again, look at that. Boom. My little fairies cooked this one, or cleaned this one for me. No, they didn't. Okay, so I'm just going to be putting in here my water. And then I'm mixing in my glucose syrup. Now, glucose syrup is a fancy term for, you can also use corn syrup. And this is very sticky. That's right, sticky, icky, sticky. That's right. But it's really fun to work with. So I'm just going to be mixing these up. This is water, which is about, we have the cups on there. It's like 3/4 of a cup of water and then some tablespoons. And then this corn syrup or glucose syrup. And this is what it comes here in one of these jars, so you can find it around the world. All right, make sure when you measure this out, you get all of it off there. Yippee dippy. Ooh, one of my machines is beeping at me. Give me 1 second. Yay. Isn't technology fun when things beep at you? Okay. All right, so now you want to put this over medium heat. Yes, you do. Medium heat. Fantastic. Just whiz this around. Making sure all of your glucose syrup or your corn syrup is getting mixed in and melted. And now you want to simmer this for about 3 minutes. Okay. In the meantime, you want to make your puree or your juice. Now, I've already done this, but here I have, oh my gosh, you guys, I wish you could have seen them. These were made from these big, plump, ruby red grapefruits that literally are as red as like a pomegranate, red as a tomato. But look at that incredible juice. I just want to show you. So I've already done that. And we're going to be blending this up. So now, all my sugar's going in there. And then to that, I'm going to be adding just a wee bit of potato protein. Now, potato protein will help emulsify this. This helps bring it all together. This just helps give this a little bit of more incredible texture. Now, if you don't have the potato protein, don't worry about it. The substitution is just leave it out. That's right. But we, of course, are going to put it in here because we do use this extensively. And yes, you can find it on our website, which is freefromthat.com. So I'm just going to come over here. Well, I'll let you come on over here and see me make all the noise. This is my favorite thing. I like to make noise. I'm the kid. Yes, I make all the noise. I'm the noise maker. Boom. All right, so I'm going to whiz this up. See, it does, look at that color. It changed it a little bit. A lot, actually. So it does like, kind of froth it, make it really incredible, frothy. Get my tripod here. All right, so this is, again, my juice along with my, if you're going to be using the potato protein. Now here we're still simmering glucose syrup with my water. Haven't quite finished the 3 minutes yet. Now the other thing I'm going to combine in a separate area is we're still using, look, we have the corn syrup here or the glucose syrup. We're still using traditional white sugar, okay? And so it's about a cup. And then we're using carabine gum. Now, this is something that commercial ice cream makers use. It is a little bit more of a specialty ingredient. It is more difficult to find. It will improve the texture. It reduces the ice crystals. It makes it just have a more amazing mouthfeel. If you can't find it, just like the potato protein, don't worry about it, leave it out. But if you can, I would encourage you to put it in, and you do just want to mix this nicely with your sugar. All right, taking my glucose off, we're going to let that cool down just a wee bit. So mixing your carabine gum. Just get that nicely mixed. All right, now I'm going to pour this into my hot glucose. We're going to let this all combine. Once again, what we're doing is we're making sure that all the sugar is dissolving. And this is going to give a better overall texture and mouthfeel. So just these extra steps are going to make your sorbet even more traditional, like a professional sweet treat. So it's not going to be like Italian ice. It's going to be sorbet. That's the French way. Sorbetto is Italian, I believe. All right, so continue to get this all dissolved. We'll let that simmer just a wee bit more. Now, I want to make sure that that's all combined. I do want to talk to you a little bit about how you're going to be churning this. We are going to blend this all in a minute, and then we're going to be churning it. So it's really important that after you heat this up, that you then cool it down. And cooling it down will prevent this from turning into having a lot of ice crystals. It always goes back to texture and reducing the ice crystals. So the way you're going to do this is to have an ice bath. Now when you're using an ice bath, you want to get a nice giant bowl and have nice big ice cubes there. But you don't want to have it just be ice cubes. Make sure that you put water in there. Believe it or not, water in your ice is actually going to help you cool anything down quicker. And then the even bigger, super duper extra secret bonus way of cooling down your ice cream or your sorbet is to put in salt. So chuck in there about a tablespoon of salt, just regular table salt, nothing fancy. If you've ever seen them churning ice cream by hand, you might have remembered when they actually had they would use the rock salt and they would churn the ice creams. So that's old school. We do have a professional ice cream machine maker here. We realize that maybe you don't at home. That's fine. There are a bunch, so I'm just going to bring this off to cool 1 second. I do want to show you that we have a couple other options of ice cream makers that exist on the market. They are around here somewhere. And you can get attachments for them. For example, if you have, oops, thought I had them down here, but I do not. But if you have a stand-up mixer, you have the KitchenAid stand-up mixer, they have an ice cream attachment. So it's actually an ice cream bowl that you put in the freezer, and that makes your KitchenAid an ice cream machine. That's right. So it's actually going to churn right in your KitchenAid. But over here, we have an actual ice cream machine. Oh, it's in the office. The staff just told me it's in the office. Thank you. I'm going to show you the ice cream machine right now. I'll let y'all see this one. This has been set up, and this is all. What's nice about this, see, this actually has an external motor. And what does that do? It actually has, the motor cools this, because when you use a more cost-effective / cheaper ice cream machine, you have to put your bowl in the freezer. This one is a standalone machine that has this really cold thing that just drops in here, and the motor means it's like a little bitty tabletop freezer, if you will. Okay, so that's all the difference here. If you're gonna make a ton of ice cream, then maybe you consider investing in something like this, but if you don't, that's totally fine. All right, now we're gonna come back over here. I'm happy that my things have cooled down enough. I believe I have more things going on this week than I usually do. In fact, I know that. All right, so I'm going to do one more blitz here. Blitzo. So I'm going to be combining. This is my, let me see. I gotta see something. Wait, hold on. Teresa says, hello from Czechia. That's nice. So Czechia that's like old Czechoslovakia, and now we call it the Czech Republic. I know that. Okay, and Teresa says, can I make in half grapefruit and half lychee? I think that would be the most amazing combination ever, Teresa. I think that would be brilliant. Lychee is one of our favorite, it's a Southeast Asian fruit. We can only get it here in a can, but I think that would be fantastic. So if you're gonna use something in a can like that, I would just recommend blitzing it up, whizzing it up, maybe in a blender, or putting it straight away into the juice and then pressing it. Just strain it through a sieve, unless you want it chunky. But you can leave it chunky and whole, or you can do it, you can put it through a sieve. But I think that would be a really nice pairing combination. It's in the office, all good. Yum, lychee. Yes, see, Jessica's online. She said, I know she's a lychee junkie as well. That's right, lychee, lychee. Lychee, lychee, we all stay for Dee. Okay, so now I'll pour my sugar and glucose and carrot bean and potato protein into my fantastic ruby red solution, and I'm just gonna blitz this up. So now, when I talk about reducing this and making this in the ice bath, one would need to do, I need to get actually have to have a bowl. I'm not gonna put it in there just in the can't put it in there in the Blendtec jar. That would be silly of me. So we're just, like I mentioned, here's our ice bath we have with the cold water. Look, if I kept my hand in here forever, it would come out freezing and red and frozen. All right, we don't want that. So put your bowl here, and then now you just want to put your sorbet there. And now you want to make sure that you reduce the temperature to 4C. Why are we doing that? Well, that's because you're going to, like I mentioned earlier, time and time again, it's going to give a better texture. So just make sure that, and you can put this now in the ice bath. You can put it actually in the freezer, or you can put it in the refrigerator. It's even going to drop it quicker. But in the interest of time, I'm actually going to show you. So pretend everybody that this has been dropped to 4 degrees. So I promise you it isn't, but pretend it is. And then all you're going to do is put this into your ice cream machine, and then you're going to have to churn it. And after you churn it, then you have to put it into your container. So someone says peace, shalom, namaste, oh, and thank you. Oh, yeah, someone's saying peace in many different, and hello in many different ways. Okay, so power I have on, and now I have this on my sorbet. Start. Perfect. So now you can see this is moving, so it's ready to be churned. So now, once again, pretend this is down to 4 degrees. Don't tell anybody, but this is 4 degrees. Now we're going to pop this in here. And it's going to blend this all up. And it's going to be nice and creamy. I promise you, because this is not 4 degrees, it doesn't look that nice and creamy. But I had to show you how you put it in here. So don't tell. But I am going to show you the final project of the one that we did yesterday. So you can see the completed version with all of our candied nuts. So with that being the case, I have to go get from the refrigerator. So when this sorbet is done, you want to let it rest on your bench for about 10 to 15 minutes. I took this out of the freezer about 45 minutes ago, and I put it in the fridge. So now this is the lemon one. Doesn't it look beautiful? So again, I had to do it ahead of time. So I took it about 45 minutes and I put it in the fridge. And now I want to show you what we're going to do. So this does make about 1 liter. If you want to be really creative, you can make quenelles and practice all of your fantastic quenelling and making different shapes and sizes and showing everybody how you know all about French haute cuisine. But I'm going to go a little more traditional and show you how just to make a little parfait. So I'm all about the mix-in. So I put a little bit of nuts in my bottom. I'm going to show you now how this scoops. Look at that gorgeous scoop. So the sorbet, I just love this consistency. You know, Jessica really perfected this recipe, and I think this is one of my favorite ones that she's ever done. I can't handle, somebody wrote, Teresa says, I'm beginning vegan pastry chef and your recipes are really helpful. Thank you for that. Oh, we're happy to have that. Oh, well, I'll tell you, we love inspiring other people. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on there. Boom. Whoa. And one more. All right. And last but not least, the very top. And just a few more nuts on top. Whoa. All right. So there you go. Lemon sorbet. Make the ruby red. We had lemon in this one, so we want to show you the various different styles, shapes, and flavors with your spiced pistachios. And now, da 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 da, the most important part, taste testing. My mouth awaits love. a party in my mouth. That's right. Fresh, sweet, decadent, easy, low cost, and completely customizable. So remember, come back next Tuesday. I promise. Even though I do sweet things, you'll always have something savory and probably a little bit spicy. So thanks for watching, and make sure you tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern European time as Jessica continues to dazzle with her sweet treats. Thanks for watching, and make sure, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below, share this with the world, spread it all around, and we'll see you back here at Vegan Gastronomy. Bye-bye.